Hello. Oh my gosh, you guys. Whew. It has been a little bit of a day. How is everybody doing? Oh goodness, I had to run back to the shop. I forgot my laptop. So, I am sorry I'm just a few minutes late. I'm just making sure I've got everything up here. Let me go into this and pull this up. How is everybody? How are my friends? Hey LaDonna, how are you? I'm going to tag everybody. Okay, you guys. Let me just pull this up real quick. Maybe. All right, that's taking a hot second. So, anyways, while that's taking a hot second, we will do everything else. Okay, so colors tonight are black and white, like always. We're going to have some Mod Podge. We're doing turquoise and Caribbean blue. We're doing sunbright yellow and yellow. And we're also doing Lisa pink and, of course, my favorite, bubblegum. And what are we doing? We are doing the cute little bunny trio sign. This is actually going to one of our cubbies here in the group, Miss Aretha Addiction RN. She asked me to make her one, and I just gotta grab my tape acrylic, which is right here. We're gonna tape up these cute little bunnies tonight, and I'm going to show you how to do this really fun way of learning how to do gingham or like buffalo check or all of that kind of stuff, because it's been a little bit since I've showed you guys. And other side, this is falling down quite a bit. Okay, now that I'm situated, here we go. And I don't even know where the heck my mouse was. I was running, so I hate not having a mouse and have to use my laptop. But here we go. Hot mess. These are amazing. The bigger ice cube trays, they have the little silicone so you can pop them out still. Nope, there you go. These have been awesome for painting when you're painting a big amount, okay? So I did do 2 coats of these. We're gonna glitter this. And then for the rest of it, we're gonna have fun. Okay, so actually, let's start with our yellow first. And we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay, so this is Sunbright Yellow. And I'm gonna just put a bunch in here because I'm painting up quite a storm of these. So, and let me we'll grab this 1/2 inch angle brush here. Grab my towel. LaDonna, how bad did you do over budget? Or did you stay under? I was about like 150 or 160 over. Oops. All right, you guys. So I'm just painting the edge here of our bunny. And this is that sun bright yellow. So it's a little bit brighter than like a pastel yellow, but not by much, okay? All right, and then with this edge line, it is just an edge line to help me guide for when I'm putting on my popped out letters and the tells. So we get to just paint over this. We don't even have to worry about it. Sorry, my allergies are a little bad today. All right. We're gonna go over here, and I'm just using the edge of my brush, taking that curvature, going nice and around here. We're going to smooth that out. Okay. Same thing again. everything up. All right. And I'm gonna just smooth this side out here. Since we're already there, we'll go ahead and go to our other bunny's ear here. I guess same bunny, but different ear. Hey, Susan Hatch, how are you, sweetheart? This weekend, oh my gosh, you guys, I should have just stayed at the sim show. I had better luck there. You guys, not even joking. I had gotten home. Lori had brought me back to the shop, and we were looking at that, and while I was there, I was waiting for hubby to come with my good friend, our good friend Steve, to help us move in the laser. And needless to say, it was kind of a you-know-what of a show. So they didn't give you a seat back? Ooh, goodness, yeah, you need that. So anyways, they had problems getting a trailer. We rented one, and then we went to the place, and it said that there was no trailer available. So then they had to go to another place to get a trailer, and the pallet jack that they were supposed to get was in a different area. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So they were like, okay, well, we're going to do it the other way. Oops, sorry. And then, needless to say, they ended up just like, okay, fine, we'll just try it this way. We'll just load it in. It loaded in up good, so it will load out good. No, it did not happen. One of the caster wheels that was kind of weak to begin with, I knew that from previous moving trip, was weak and busted off, and the other one now is weak, very weak, and so that became a problem. And so then trying to get it through with only 2 wheels, we had to go get another furniture dolly, and oh, you guys. So we got it in, luckily, but it was pouring rain, so that was fun. And then we then had problems with getting the new door up, because we had to move the laser in before we put the doors up, because we had to take off the door frame. So needless to say, you guys, it was rough. And then Sunday was, we were trying to be good. We went to church, and Briley had they had this cute little prom for their youth group. And so she got all dressed up and dolled up, which was fun, and it was so cute and everything. And we get her there, and we go to the restaurant and everything else, and my phone dies. So, okay, whatever. I swore, you guys, I put it back in my purse. And then with the craziness of life, I didn't look for my phone until about midnight and realized I don't have my phone. I left it at the restaurant, but luckily there are good people in this world, and whoever found it turned it in, and so my phone's back. But you guys, whew, it was rough. Rough. So anyways, Susan Hatch, you are doing good. Had 3 medical and dental appointments and 2 shots. Ooh, goodness. Okay, you have those. They should have given you a lollipop. That's BS. I would be disputing that one. I need at least a dum-dum sucker if you're going to do that, right? Okay, you guys. So we've got our Sunbright Yellow. We've done 2 coats now. I'm just going to gun this for a hot second. We do want this as dry as we can get it because we're going to be putting tape on top. You know, typically what I do is I like to let this wait a little bit longer, because the longer you wait, the less you're going to have a paint pullage. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so we've got our tape. This is the frog tape, the yellow tape. This doesn't stick as much as the green tape with fresh paint. So I love using this stuff more, but I still fuzz my tape, okay? Where is my chick? It is actually at the store, believe it or not. It's so dang cute, you guys. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, we're gonna go about right here. Okay, so I've got my piece of tape here. We'll go ahead and just use the paint rag for right now. So we're just gonna fuzz up our tape, okay? This keeps it from getting too sticky and pulling the paint, okay? So we'll go right here. I'm gonna leave this bottom one because we'll just paint this one. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. My allergies and being in the shop with all the dust has definitely kicked my butt today. Okay, so I'm wanting to make sure we've got our letters pretty straight here so that doesn't mess it up. We're gonna go right about here. Okay, first tape is down. Okay, the next tape that I'm gonna use is gonna be my guide tape, okay? So we're just gonna use a small little piece. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so this one we'll go ahead and put right here. So we're just going to line this up to our next tape. And I apologize because I know this is yellow, so it makes it a little bit harder to see. And then we're going to grab our next piece. We'll fuzz this guy. Oop, maybe. There we go. One more time. And this one's still kind of sticky, so we'll go one more time. Okay. All right, so we've got that all fuzzed up here. We're gonna put that, line it up, and line this one down. We're gonna take this one up, okay, and then we're gonna line up our next one, just like so. And the reason why I'm doing the check first is because then I don't have to worry about the paint over here, right? Okay, we're gonna get our next one here. And we'll fuzz up our tape again. Okay, and last one. 3 times is a charm, right? Okay, so then we'll line this one up, and I'm gonna put that one down. We'll lift this guy, and we'll put our next guy down. So I'm just lining up again, throwing that down, and we'll grab our next piece of tape here, if I can get it up. Okay. Where did I find the nice ice cube maker? You need one of these. I actually got this off of Amazon. I can share the link with you a little bit later, Joanne. Hey, Miss Johnny. How are you, sweet pea? Okay, one more fuzz. I don't think they were too bad either. I want to say it was like $2, $3. Hey, Cece. How are you, hon? Okay, guys, so I'm going to line that one up just like so. I'll take this one off. Add our next. Remember, this is just our template sticker. And I am making these pieces a little bit longer just because we're going to use them, reuse them to go the opposite way. Okay, so fuzz. There we go. And one more time. Oop, we got that twisted. There we go. Okay, guys. Let's go right here. One more time. And I don't think we'll need a sticker for the top. Let me look. Nope, we're going to be over. If you can see, we'll be over. Maybe on this ear we might. Nope, we'll be over. Okay, perfect. So I like to keep my tape, pieces of tape, so I'm just going to leave that on the side there. Okay, and then we are going to get our yellow. And I will just throw out the yellow over on this side. I did not realize it was so low. Sorry, guys. Okay, that should be enough for right now. Okay, I'm going to grab one of my gloves here. And we're going to get a handy dandy baby wipes. It does not matter on baby wipes. I prefer the fragrance free just because my hands can be sensitive, but it does not matter. These ones I think are Up and Up, so that these are Target brand. I just grab whatever's cheap. I usually get the 3-pack because I use a lot. All right, so you guys, I've got the paint right here, little dollop of it on my on my baby wipe, and we're just going to rub this in, okay? And I'm trying to be somewhat careful of my lines around my bunny, but at the same time, if we go over a little bit, it's okay. Okay, so we've got this one. I'll get this guy right here. I'll get this one. I'll get the edges first. Okay. It feels like I'm playing with mustard because this yellow kind of reminds me of mustard yellow. And I don't even really care for mustard. But it reminds me of the color mustard. All right. Yellow is actually my favorite color. All right, so we got that one. So we're just kind of putting it on. We're not necessarily wiping it off, but we're just wiping it back and forth, okay? So you are going to see some white marks, but it's okay. We're kind of wanting that fun, distressed look, okay? Just kind of how gingham kind of looks, right? All right. So I'm going to go one more time down at the bottom and just put one more coat. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like needing to blow my nose. All right, let me go right here. Go one more time right here. Okay. Okay, and once more right here. I love using baby wipes to paint with, you guys. That is my favorite jam because it makes it so easy. Okay, bunny is somewhat done for right now. I'm going to take off my glove and then we will go the opposite direction. So when I take these pieces of tape off, I'm going to try to keep them so they don't go up on each other here. So we got one stripe here. These even make really cute for stripes too, doing the same method, okay? But like I said, the biggest secret if you're painting something and it's just, you recently just painted it, so that you don't get the lift up where it lifts up your paint, is to fuzz your pieces of tape. Okay, and our last one. All right. Okay, and then like I said, I reuse my tape to do the other side so that we'll get the gingham. Let me grab, whoops, the heat gun real quick. And just make sure, and one thing that's nice with using the baby wipes, you can, it dries really fast. Okay. Hold on, honey. What?
You have Zoe?
No. No, I don't.
Okay. I'm just hoping she didn't get out with the other two.
Okay. Okay. That would be my luck today. Okay. So we got this one. All right, so we'll use our stencil here again. And we'll just lightly put this spot down, right? We'll grab our longer strips for this area. Line that up, just like so. Okay. Oops, I should have grabbed my stencil one first. Okay. Alrighty, we're gonna go right here. Grab this line. Okay. We're gonna grab this piece. Actually, this is gonna need a long one. Let me grab this one. Okay. So we'll go right here. This one's a little bit short, but because it's going into the yellow, I'm going to be okay with it. Okay. And then we'll do this one next. Okay. That one's going to be over. Let's see if we've got any little bit here. So right here on its booty, we'll have to tape right there. Okay, and let me grab right here. We'll see if we've got anything over this way too. I don't think we will, but we'll double check, right? Okay, so that one, if you can see, is all going to be over. Yep. So what I'm going to do, since that one's good, we'll go right here and I'll match up my tape right there. And we'll put that there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my glove again. You don't have to do the gloves. Honestly, I have enough paint on my fingers. It probably wouldn't matter anyways, but for, you know, showing you guys. And I reuse my gloves for a couple of times before I replace them. I actually started doing that after COVID because it was so hard getting gloves. So I got very resourceful with keeping my gloves as long as I possibly could. And then it's just kind of trickled on. All right, so we're getting right here next. And then, like I said, I'm just careful about kind of going right around our edge with our baby wipe. Okay, just like so. All right. We'll dry this for a second. Now, I don't like to put the heat gun on the tape because it activates the tape's adhesive and you can get some paint pull. So don't do that. Lessons learned by myself there. So we'll do one extra coat and your square part will look darker. And that's what you want because it will make that gingham pop out more and it will look like a gingham, like a plaid. Okay, and you can see from this line to this one that it is darker by doing that second coat already. Okay. All right, and done. Pull our tape. Now also, just a reminder, be careful when you are pulling the tape because you can pull too fast and it will pull the paint as well. Sometimes going slower does help with that too. And now look how cute. We've got this cute gingham check on our bunny. Isn't that cute? How's the shop coming along? This week has been, or last weekend was a little bit challenging, but it's a new day, it's a new week. We're doing better. I found a great deal on vanity sink that was much needed. Thank you, Lowe's. It just had a crack down at the very bottom. So some baseboard trim, which I have plenty of that laying around, and some scrap of it will hide it. And they literally, it was a $160 vanity, and they sold it to me for 50 bucks. So I was like, woo woo. And it came with the top, so I was all excited, you guys. So it's coming. We're getting there. We're getting close, very close to opening. So, all right, you guys. So this is the light pink. This is the Lisa pink that we're going to do on this side. And then, like I said, our little bits that we ran over with the yellow, we'll be able to cover up with the Lisa. And Lisa pink is really good coverage as well. So it's good to have it because we can clean it up very easily. So I'm just going around with my edge of my tip of the edge of my edge brush. Oh goodness, say that 10 times fast. Tongue twister. All right, guys, so now I'm just going right around the ears here. Cleaning up our ears. Just like that. Okay. And smoothing down. Come over here as well. Get this ear. Smooth this out. Just like so. Same over here. Okay. And then because we've gotten our nice clean edges, we can come back and scribble the rest. Okay. And right here as well. Okay. All right. And just a little more. Okay. All right, you guys, so now I'm just going to grab our edge here, let our paint dry on our bunny, and I'll just double check to make sure that we've got good coverage, which it's looking so far so good. Cleaning the edge part as I'm going up. Okay, and I'm going to grab right here. There we go. Clean that up. And just a little more. Okay. All right, let me throw this with the heat gun real quick, just to make sure we're good. It looks good. All right, one coat. You know me, you guys. One coat is my favorite. Okay, so now we're going to try using the ice cube tray here and use this as our polka dots, for polka dots. So I'm going to grab the back of a plate here just to help with wiping off our said polka dots. Let me see, we're about medium dots-ish. So these ones should work. Let me see if I can tell you what size I grabbed. This one would even work. Nope. Okay. These are, I'm going to guess 1/2 inch on these. Okay, so we've got the bubblegum pink. I'm going to get my daughter in here. You can see we've got a good dollop, but if we were to push that, the dollop would be a disaster. So we're going to take our plate, we're going to swivel it around. So we've got nice good coverage all the way around. Our edges are a little bit, so I'm going to push down just a little. If you make this swipey motion, kind of twist, we're good. You can see it's all evenly distributed on our pouncer. And then I'm going to grab also, like I said, I love my hearts and my shape Post-it notes so that we can use that. We're going to use our Post-it note right here, and we'll go right here with one of our little dots. And then remember, I like to envision cute little triangles. So let's go about doot doot doot. So right there. We're going to go down, triangle, about right in here. Okay, grab some more paint. All right, I'm going to go across, doot, doot. So you're seeing my little triangle, envisioning a small little triangle here, right? Hey Sherry, how are you? Okay, so I've got more paint here. Spin, spin, spin. Okay, so our next little triangle. So dot, dot. We're going to go about right here for our next triangle. And you want your print to go off of the edge because then it looks like it's flowing more, right? And then that next dot would be over here, which wouldn't be on our sign, right? Okay. So we're going to come back down. We've got our dots right here. Here, I'll even put the sign back so you can kind of see where our dots are. So we're going to go right about here for this one. Okay. So we've got these 3 triangles. We're going to go with our next little spot for our triangle. Okay. So here. And then we're going to go right back down. And right about here for our next triangle. And then this one, we're going to go here, here, and here. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, right about here. Okay. And our next triangle, about right here. Okay. And then we'll get our edge again. And get a little bit more paint on our pouncer. All right, so I'm going to add my heart right here. I'm going to go about here. So I'm pushing down and I'm twist, twist up, okay, straight up. That helps, okay? So here, here, we're going to go about right here and here. Okay, so that finishes those, and I think we are good on our polka dots with our pink. All right, moving on. I am doing better today. we're just at we're ready to get it open stage, and so we're getting close. And I think it's when you get close, you're just like, oh my gosh, why aren't we here yet? Sherry, to answer your question. So we're getting there. It's just taking a little bit longer than what we wanted, which we knew it probably would based on, you know, it being an older building and stuff like that. But it's hard, but fun at the same time. The wall on that separates in between, that's not shiplap, but it's I call it the accordion wall, because it has like the accordion board on the other side of it. Anyways, that one, it just showed the seams a lot, and I was not loving it. And knowing that that was going to be the wall, the background wall for like when I'm painting and stuff like that, I really didn't like it. So I actually got an idea to try and do like a faux painting of shiplap. And so I drew lines on the wall and tried to kind of hide where the seams were with the lines, and it really worked well. I'll have to post pictures, you guys, because it's turning out really good. And then I'm doing some dry brushing, and it is just turning out awesome. So I'm excited with how it turned out today. I got one wall done, and I got to start over on the other side by the office just a little bit, and then we will be done. So our plan is to head in tomorrow early so we can get that done, but we'll see. And then we got the laser in, so that's good. Boy, was that a feat. But we got it, and so yeah, we're getting there. It's getting closer. You guys are going to start seeing me painting over there probably real soon, because having the laser over there, you know, makes it a little bit hard because you're back and forth so much. It was already hard with it being in the garage, so now it further away. And then I was so silly and left. We were trying to get dinner done and everything else before I started paint night. And you guys, I forgot my laptop. So we're getting close to getting the laser set up. Brian got all the exhaust pipes and all of that kind of stuff ready. So we're getting there. Hey, Susan, how are you, hon? Okay, guys, so I am painting with the Caribbean blue. We're getting our edges here on this cute bunny. Okay. And Caribbean blue covers really good, but I think we will need a second coat. I can see some spots where we might have to do it. But sometimes when it dries, when your paint's drying, it will act like it didn't cover either. So we'll look. How are you feeling, Susan? How's things going? I can't wait to see ya. Hug on ya. Give you a big old hug. Life has been so crazy, you guys. I feel so out of the loop with everybody. Okay. Yep, we're going to need a second coat for sure. And I think the same with our dots as well. So we'll go back to the dots and add a second coat for those as well. So let me get our blue here. So I'm just using the angle brush, getting around our edges. I can see just a little bit of the yellow popping through. So I really want to make sure we get that nice and covered. Okay. Okay. So got ear down into its head. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Susan, I just saw your comment. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna see what it says. Okay, and down to the booty. Okay, smooth, smooth, smooth. All right. There we go. Okay. I went to the doctor this morning. In 3 weeks. Didn't tell her I've already been back a week already. Girl. Oh gosh. You better be taking it easy though. That stuff will catch up to you later. But yes, I get it. I was the same way. Maternity leave was like, she's like, you can start exercising. I'm like, oh, oops, because I already am. Okay. You can start vacuuming. Oh, good, because I already was. Whoops. Okay, you guys. I thought about doing it with the planter just to do the touch-ups, but I grabbed my filbert brush. It is a number 4, and I'm just going around real quick and cleaning up the circles with the filbert brush. There's just a couple of little spots. When you do the planter, sometimes because of the sponge of it, it will give that spongy look, and so even though it has the coverage, it's not quite covered because you can see the lighter and the darker parts of the sponge. So that is what I'm kind of just touching up real quick. So we're just grabbing the bubble gum, going around. Okay. Right here as well. And clean that up. Okay. Going around our arch here. Okay, and around our arch here. Okay, guys. Okay, let me grab our heat gun real quick. I know, Cece, I thought the same thing. Okay, so turquoise next. Well, I'm glad that you're doing good, though. But you take care of yourself, sweetie. Okay, so turquoise. We got our other planter right here. Same thing that we're gonna do. Whoa. All right, so we've got paint, but you can see it's not covered all the way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna twist, 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 so kind of move it around. We'll go around our edge, kind of clean it up, okay? And then we're gonna go in. I kind of like to start at the ear, twist, twist, up, and we'll continue with doing our triangles. And up, and up, right here. So you can see I'm just kind of visualizing the points of a triangle. Okay, so point of a triangle, and right there is our next point. Okay, this one we're gonna need just a little bit more Let me grab some more paint here. Okay. All right, doot, doot. Right there. This one, right there. Okay. Right here with this one. Two. Okay. Grab some more paint here. And I promise you the teal shows up a lot more. I guess I can see it on the camera. Sometimes it's hard when it's wet, but once it starts drying, it shows up really well. Okay. So throw that one there. Okay, let me grab a Post-it note again so that we make sure we don't go over. Right here. And yes, I have to make my sounds. It totally helps. Toot, toot. Right here, I feel like. And even though that went over just a titch right there, we'll get it with the black and you'll never see it. And toot, toot, toot. Right about here, I think. We'll be good. Okay. Perfect. Let me throw the heat gun on here real quick. Usually teal covers really well. And most of the time, you don't need to do the second coat, but clownfers also sometimes don't distribute the paint super great. So sometimes you have to do, like I said, a little bit of touch-up because it's a sponge. But we're looking pretty good. I can see one that needs just a little touch-up. Okay, you guys. Right here, we just need a little touch-up. So I'm going to grab right there and right here. And this guy. Okay. Okay. I think the rest of it is good. Okay, so we'll throw that in there. All right, so we are good. I'm going to cover my paint because, like I said, I'm going to be painting a lot. Okay. We got a lot of these. We put some in the shop. So, all right. Let me grab my other paint tray because I was using some black and white out of that earlier. So, because it's been a little bit since I used that, I'm going to throw a little bit of water in my black. And we're going to grab a detail brush here. This is a 10/0 spotter brush. I'm going to mix up the water in our black here. Grab off the back of my brush here. And then what I'm going to do is just do some detailing around our edges. Nothing too crazy. Oh, you guys, my nose, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're going to go back right here with a cute little zigzag. And I'm doing the inside first so that I don't drag my hand through the paint later. Okay. So right here we had a little bit of paint, so I'm just trying to make sure that I grab that pink paint, which we did. And that's why I said little boo-boos, they're easy. You can cover them with your outlining or even some highlights. Sometimes you can cover it up. So it's a-okay. Okay, I'm not loving how my line's going there. There we go. And then when I I get to my outer edge, I do let it kind of go in just a little bit. You fell in the kitchen and broke your left arm. Oh no. Oh no. No crafts for a while. Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry. It didn't, oh. That's hard though, not to break your fall. I mean, it's a natural instinct to not do that, you know, to try and brace yourself. So I get it. I'm so sorry. Prayers for you, sweetie. You just have not had it easy. You poor thing. And I'm complaining about my building. Makes life centered a little bit faster, right? All right, so our blue, I went over the blue just a little bit here. So look, we're just gonna hide that right here with our detailing. Okay. Don't fret about the small things. If you go a little bit over, it's okay. We can fix it. Not a big deal. I know, right, Susan? Prayers for speedy recovery and healing and everything else. Okay, so I've got a little bit of blue right here. Remember that we went over. So all we're going to do is just hide it with that line. And now nobody knows that we had problems. Okay. Now, if it was really bothering you, a baby wipe would work. Just be careful when you're blending it out and wiping it off. And I would wipe towards the blue, not towards the yellow. Okay, so we got our center one done. We're gonna go to our pink one next. Do a little zigzag right here. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going right here as well. The paint was starting to drag just a little bit. And when I say that, it meant that I could feel the brush and the paint not gliding, and it was making like a kind of feel. That's when you want to stop because your lines aren't going to be as smooth, okay? Or if it feels like your hand is not placed right, stop because it will mess you up. Okay, so we got that side. We're going to come over here. I'm just trying to see where my transition spot is. I think we did that one right here. Yep. It's funny because that's exactly where I wanted to put it. Just a natural spot for me, I guess. All right, we're going to go right around here. Okay. All right, guys. And right here. Okay. All right, I am going to just add a little bit of water as well to my white. Because like I said, it's been a little bit since I used it, so I'm just going to add a little bit. So therefore it won't dry it out. If it was having a problem with drying out, now we're good. Because I've had this since last night. So that goes to show you what covering these with those little ice cube trays, they're my favorite friend because you can store your paint for a little while in them. Okay, so I'm just going to add some highlight here. Okay. I feel like we need just a little more right there. Okay, right around our ear. And I grabbed a little bit of the black, but it's a-okay. I'm just going to let it kind of play its way out right through here. Okay. Oh, and I forgot. The polka dots, we have little highlights on. So we're just making fun little swooshes. Just random. Down at the bottom, off on the side, all of this up on top. Okay, go here. Around the face here. Okay. And right through here, right through there. Okay. We'll add our swooshes here. Go here, around our edge. Okay. Grabbing our face. Here and right there. Okay, you guys, how do we think? What are we thinking? We liking? Isn't it cute? Okay, so in the original one, I had the tails as white, so we had to avoid these. Now, it makes it a lot easier to paint because we don't have to worry about the white of our little bunny tails, right? So, we've got our bunny tail and our welcome here, right? We are gonna Mod Podge these. So I'm gonna grab my Mod Podge. This bottle's almost empty, but we'll use what we can. If we have to go to the other one, we will. Okay, I'm gonna grab an old brush here. Let's grab this guy. Okay. This is the matte Mod Podge. I like using this because it doesn't outshine the glitter. All right, we're gonna throw our tail here. Okay, and I like a medium amount of it on. We'll throw our glitter here. Okay, and I'll do this one real quick before we shake it off. Okay. And I just left this on the tape. Okay. Let me grab our center tail here. Whoop. Okay. And you do have to work fast because the Mod Podge does dry really fast. So like I said, sometimes I'll work in sections with the letters and stuff like that too. Or on my big ones that I'm glittering, I'll do that as well. Okay. Let's go into our W. Right here. Okay. Okay. Make sure we got good coverage. Alright guys, so we got that one, and then I will go further in with our painting. So we got our E here. Okay. Whoa, there we go. All right, and then when I do my glitter, I kind of put it at that end point so it kind of flows, so you're not seeing it as much and it's not as noticeable, okay? Okay, so you can kind of see where I ended, right around that C. Oops, I did do the C, oops. There we go. I'm losing it. We all knew I was, but you know, I've got a little more wonky. Okay. And that one looks really good coverage, okay. Now, Lori has her, I think it's called Snow White glitter. I am just finishing up this extra glitter I have here. I'm going to be actually selling Lori's glitter in the shop. I'm so excited that I'll be able to. But that one I think would be really pretty as well because it gives more of that white. This is iridescent, so it is really pretty, but Lori's is just prettier in my opinion. So the Snow White is the one that I would use for this. But the one that I am using is from Walmart, and it is the Crystal Diamond. Theirs are all like jewel themed. So I think there's like emerald and stuff like that. I think the red, they call it ruby. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna flip. Oop, I knew I was gonna do that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna leave that right there for 1 sec. Throw our Mod Podge here so I don't knock that away. And like so. Okay. Alright, you guys, now it's glitter time, or glue time, which I'm so excited for. Okay, let me throw this over here and grab our desk vacuum. And yes, this really does help with the glitter, not iron. Love this thing. Okay. Get yourself one of those if you don't. They're awesome. Okay, I left my glue somewhere. Oh, it's behind the bottles. It was on my table. No. Sorry, guys. Okay. So I started putting my stick fast in other bottles just because I was having a hard time with the top gluing off, and when I was doing craft events, I needed smaller bottles. So I put it in smaller ones, and it's been awesome since doing it. I get these little bottles. I got these ones from Hoblobs, but anyways, love the desk vac. Yes, if you don't have a desk vac, get one. This one's rechargeable. I think I got it off of Amazon. Okay, so welcome. Everything I get is like off the Zon, I swear. Okay. Glue. There we go. We got our W here. Let's see. Just lining it up real quick here. Okay. And then I'm going to slowly press down. Now when you press down, especially on these little letters, they will shift on you, okay? So just kind of watch it. That's why I kind of press down lightly, get a little bit, and then I'll push a little bit harder. All right. Yeah, we'll get this towel since it's right here. And a little bit of this glue goes a long way. It's called CA glue. It's thick, and it's from Stick Fast, and it definitely does that. Okay. right here. So we're just lining up with the lines. Remember how I showed you guys earlier how the lines were there, that we were going to just paint over them? Same thing. Okay. Let's grab our letters here. There we go. I just get a small bead. Okay. Alrighty. Just lining these up. Okay. Just like that. Whoops. See, like I said, it will shift. Alright, push. Push. And push more. Okay. Okay. You're in love with the bunnies? They are an easy paint, you guys. So if you're looking for a beginner one, definitely suggest these ones. And I believe, yes, they are listed in my shop as well if you want them. Okay. Or if you're just not a painter, you know I got you covered that way too. This one is actually going to Teresa Reese Addiction RN. She also ordered the mini peeps as well. Those look adorable on the pancake wreaths and stuff like that. She actually had me design them for her. And you guys, I cannot believe how much of a market I've had for those. They'd also be cute. Remember, Lori was on business call and talking about the bead tassels. Garland type stuff, and I was thinking that would make a really cute beaded garland tassel, or my tier tray ones I already have. So, alright you guys, I am loving these tails. I was thinking I might have to do some outlining with the tails, but I love them just like that. What do y'all think? So cute, huh? And you know me and glitter, so we love the glitter already. Now I do have the version where I have the teal, or I have it with the purple as well. And the purple ones I use is GP Purple and the lavender. Alright, I'm going to flip my camera up so we can go this way. Isn't it so cute? Woo! I freaking love these ones. They're my favorite. And I love that we got to update them with some embossing and everything else. So there we go. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sherry. Y'all are so awesome. And you all have a wonderful, blessed night and week. And I will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.